that's the 70% white America. That's my family car, right? But then they got this motorcycle over here that maybe they need to ride on the weekends. That's the black
broadcasting to you live
and nobody
from
better steal their motorcycle.
This is your good friends BDA and
wearing a red hat. He's trying to steal our motorcycle. We need to keep our motorcycle right here in this one place in case I want to drive the black vote.
Prograis versus Haney fight.
Well, that's the 70% white America. That's my family car, right? But then they got this motorcycle over here that maybe they need to ride on the weekends. That's the black vote.
Nevertheless,
nobody better steal their motorcycle.
It's a nice little present here for
wearing a red hat. He's trying to steal our motorcycle. We need to keep our motorcycle right here in this one place in case I want to drive the black vote.
We're also anti-drug here on this show. Anyway, we're
going to
get down to that. Might also look at a little video just to preview the fight.
Motorcycle over here
opening up
that
the
maybe
phones
they
as
need to
well.
ride on the weekends. That's the black vote.
Getting your phone calls,
and nobody better
your
steal their motorcycle.
Your phone lines. I'm going to open up the phone lines right here, so you guys get to call in.
He's trying to steal our motorcycle. We need to keep our motorcycle right here in this one place in case I want to drive the black vote.
Before we get down to the fun, let's get the business out of the way, fellas. You know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of super chats,
this motorcycle over here that maybe they need to ride on the weekends. That's the black vote.
That way you get more
and nobody better steal their motorcycle.
Special emojis, badges, and whole shebang.
Wearing a red hat. He's trying to steal our motorcycle.
We
need to keep our motorcycle right here in this one place in case I want to drive the black vote.
Don't forget also
well, that's the 70% white America. That's my family car,
Spreaker,
but then they got
Spotify,
this
iTunes,
motorcycle over here that maybe they need to ride on the weekends. That's the black vote. And nobody better steal their motorcycle.
Tank Williams III, Mars,
wearing a red hat.
Earl Stevens.
He's trying to steal our motorcycle. We need to keep our motorcycle.
Sorry about that. It's a motorcycle in the background. What the fuck? All right, shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry, there was another layer of sound there that I miscalculated on. But let's give a big shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm talking about Rapax Wheel Trucking Company, Benzo, Huedo Trash, El Mexicano, okay. Mark T, OG Blaze. Shout out to OG Blaze. Shout out to Rapax Trucking Company. Shout out to the Quags in the chat as well. We got Ricardo Renteria, Bray, Sam Rando, Joe in the chat, Super Sardonic, J. Colt, Earl Stevens, Earl, Giga Chad. Who else we got here jumping in? Team Batman Boxing, Mars, Super Sardonic, Cloudy Boxing, EPB. Many more people to come, I'm sure, fellas. Thank you for joining. Never Sobers in the chat as well. Shout out to you, fellas. Really appreciate it. We got Gonzalo in there. He's got that dog. Ricardo Renteria says, lucky it wasn't porn. No, it was, it's the background there that you see with the Christmas tree and all that. It has sound on. And I forgot to mute it. No, I'm not going to put on some porn. Unless people want me to, by the way. Because, I mean, if you're down for that, then we can party. Why not? All right, listen, fellas. Enough prevarication here. Let's get serious for a moment. I got the phone lines open in case anybody wants to call in. Usual panelists, if you want to jump on later on, let me see how it works out here. If anybody's going to call in so we can continue to take down predictions. If not, we'll get down to the rigmarole right off the bat. Speaking of predictions, I got the predictions right here. We got Booty. Oh, come on, Booty Loose. It's supposed to be Booty Juice. Anyway, Booty Juice says KO. Stu Little says Prograis stoppage. Recognize whoa, there's a lot of Prograis already right off the bat. Interesting. Recognizes Prograis between rounds 9 and 10. Never Sober said Prograis in the 8th. Jimmy says Haney by unanimous decision. Gypsy Boxing says Haney by unanimous decision, and Haney gets knocked down. How come that's misspelled there? What the fuck? Knock down. Haney knocked down. There we go. Gonzalo said Prograis 9th round body shot. I hope you guys are right, man. The guys that are picking Prograis, I hope you are right. I'm rooting for Prograis, man. Butcher says Haney by unanimous decision. Mr. BDA, yours truly, says Haney by decision. And the Quack says Haney by majority decision. It's pretty, he's going for accuracy right there. Well, by the way, people are saying it's buffering. Please don't tell me it's buffering on the... I'm looking at my signal here. It says everything's okay, man. Hopefully it's not another YouTube issue. Because on YouTube a while back, if you went on the phone, it would screw with you. But right now, I think everything's... It says my signal is green here, so hopefully everything works out. Hopefully it gets stabilized. Yeah, Okay, people are saying that it's clear now. Hey, listen, call in then. Call in. The phone lines are open. But I also want to play you guys this little clip here, this little snippet. Where was it? Well, Regis Prograis is adamant that he's not just bringing power to the table, he's bringing skills as well. That's what he keeps saying. He says people are underrating his skills and overlooking them, including Haney. Which, by the way, Haney today said, what skills? Who you beat? Who you beat? So, at least in what they're saying, they're disrespecting Prograis' skill set. But now let's hear what Prograis had to say on Fight Hub. All right?
We'll see, but I mean, I'm not even dependent just on pure power, bro. I think that's what everybody like trying to portray this as like power versus skill. But I'm really on my skill. That's what I've been doing here. I've been like training so hard for here, working on all the things I need to work on. Yes, I got power, but I think it's gonna shock. I think it's not everybody. I think it's gonna shock him about my speed, how fast I really am. It's not gonna be the power. The power is one thing, but I'm not just going on and just prodding and walking down like I'm a Mexican. I know it's gonna be some skill going on.
I'm not just gonna come in prodding like a Mexican. There's going to be skill. Now, when somebody's talking on the fly like he is extemporaneously, you always think about what you're saying. But he did say, the way it sounds like it's saying, hey, I'm not gonna fight like a Mexican. I'm actually gonna fight with skill, meaning Mexicans fight with no skill. My thing is, and you guys have probably heard it before, but I'll just repeat it, is that it actually takes a lot of skill to be able to cut the ring off and put pressure on a guy, even if he's a power puncher or if he's got quick hands because you don't see the punches coming. He could piece you up. He could carve you down is what I'm saying with that speed. Okay, now the connection is trying to screw me over here. Hold on a second. All right, hold on a second. The connection's giving me trouble here, fellas. I don't like it. I don't know what's going on here. All right, now we're back. I think we're back. Yeah, sorry about the connection. I looked at my connection here and it said it was a little loose. But anyway, so it takes a certain amount of ability, talent, and skill to pressure somebody. Now, obviously, if you're just walking for, like Brandon Rios had a certain ability, certain amount of skill, but he would also just put his hands up and take a lot of shots on the guard. And against big punchers, that ended up costing him. But if you're going to put pressure on somebody and still be defensively responsible, that's going to take some real skill here, some real doing. So for Prograis to say, hey, listen, I'm going to fight with skills, not like a Mexican, when it was time to fight like a Mexican against Zorrilla, he couldn't pull it off. He was still trying to look for openings. He wasn't pressuring. He wasn't jabbing. He wasn't feinting. Now, some of you guys might be saying, come on, BD, that's not true. He won the fight. Yeah, on paper, he won the fight. But can you really say he did a good job? And will the skill sets that he has shown and displayed, will they be enough to catch Haney? Because not for nothing, fellas, Haney is a slippery character. What's his name? Lomachenko. Whether you believe he beat Lomachenko or not is immaterial. The fact is that he kept up with Lomachenko to a certain degree. But by the way, what are people saying that what's going on here with the phone? People are saying that the connection is loose. What's going on? Butch, I know you're in the chat there. He says, hit the like. Could you check, man, on your phone and tell me if we're lagging or something? Because I'm going to check it myself here. And because a couple of days ago, if you watch it on your phone, it was fucking up. But if you watched it on the computer, it was A-okay. Let's see. I'm going to hear myself here. Hold on a second. Actually, I can't hear myself there because I got it on mute. But yeah, I'm looking at the stream. I don't need to listen to myself, and it says it's okay. So, all right, fellas, listen, we're just going to have to bear through here, all right? So anyway, what I'm saying is Prograis looked like he was out of ideas. He was lost against, what's his name? Against Zorrilla. Now, I want to talk to Gonzalo and all the rest of the other guys when we open up the panel here because I'm really interested in to hear what they're going to say in regards to some of the video that I'm going to show here. But I know Haney and Zorrilla are different fighters, but they're also very similar. So I'm rooting for Prograis here, and I'm pretty sure that he didn't mean that whole thing about the Mexican. Maybe he came out wrong. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I want him to beat Haney, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. We got a phone call here. Let's go to the phone lines. Don't forget, fellas, the phone lines are open. Hit the like. 917, you're in the air. 917. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
I am doing fantastic, man. What's on your mind?
I was watching the final press conference today, and Haney and his father are insisting that they're going to knock Prograis out. What do you feel about that?
I was actually
attorneys,
thinking about
managers,
that, and I thought
and
it's
everything else you
possible.
can think of.
It's boxing, anything's
that
possible.
they
I mean,
don't
I know
abort
Haney
their
has said, he
children.
couldn't stop
They
Linares
only marry within their
Gamboa. Guys
tribe,
had been stopped
right?
prior
And then
to
they'll
that
give
numerous times.
America
The fact that he couldn't do it
porn,
both
not
times is
just
kind of
black people,
worrying for him.
but
But
poor white
this is a
people
new division.
and Mexican people.
Prograis fights with his hands down.
They
He's
use
35 years
porn
old. Might
in
not be as quick on the
wars. It's like
trigger as Haney's going to be.
We want to talk about
I'm
gas
not,
chambers.
I don't see
This
it
is a
happening,
gas chamber.
but I could see
It's a
him starting or
silent
dropping
killer,
Prograis
and it's
if
legal,
Prograis
and they
fails to
put it
respect the
on
power.
every
What do you
single
think, Cole?
block. And they use my ex-wife to sell it. And they also
I
want to
just don't
dumb
see
us
that
down.
happening, and I feel
let
like
me let some of
now
these
that
other
you said
incredible
it,
individuals,
they
attorneys,
need to stand on it.
managers, and
Just
everything
in
else
my
you can
opinion,
think
I mean,
of.
they could do what they want,
that
but
they
you
don't
should
abort
stand
their
on what you
children.
say, because they
They
said it
only marry
multiple
within
times.
their
And if they do come to fight, like a come forward kind of fight, then I think we're in for an interesting fight. I'm not saying it'll guarantee like Prograis to knock him out or something like that, but if he comes forward and tries to change the style up, we're going to see more action. I think Haney will get dropped early, like first 3 rounds, but I think he comes out with a controversial UD.
attorneys, managers, and everything else you can think of.
Controversial
that
UD. I
they
got
don't
you, man.
abort
Hold on
their
a second. Hold on. I
children.
gotta
They
mute
only
this
marry
shit here.
with-
That's all right. Here we go. All right. So what's your? I'm gonna take down your prediction. What's your name, caller, or your nickname, so we can write it down here.
Nico.
Nico. I think you've called in before, right? So what was your prediction again?
I have Haney getting knocked down within sometime in the first 3 rounds, but to still win on a UD. Controversial UD.
Controversial. So you think it's gonna be close, or do you think? Are you saying that Prograis is gonna win it, but that they're gonna give it to Haney?
I think that Prograis is going to do damage early, and then we'll see Haney get back on his bike, like more of like a Shakur style, just jab and move, because he's going to realize like there's no way I could trade. It's just not, it's not who I am as a fighter. And people will only look at that knockdown and the emotions, like controversial in the sense where it's like he got scared and ran. And Prograis did like more of the fighting.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
I mean, hopefully. I don't know. I'm rooting for what's his name, Prograis. But I mean, I could see. Listen, Haney is a younger guy. For some reason, the establishment seems to have it in their heads that this dude could be some sort of a star. So they will continue to give him the close decisions. Although in boxing, caller Nico, you can't give a guy 2 close decisions in a row. At some point, it's better that he actually lose a close fight than if he gets another gift, because then that really damages a guy's reputation.
I agree. One last thing before I hang up.
Sure.
Did you notice that the Haneys to this day, whenever confronted about like losing the Loma fight, they just literally stay quiet?
Yeah, I noticed that in the press conference today. It's a good point, man.
It's dead silence. I mean, if that doesn't tell you what they truly believe about that fight, then I don't know what does. Because Bill Haney will snap back any chance he gets.
Hey, by the way, is it me,
So with
caller,
that,
or
cricket.
is it me, or is Bill Haney starting to look like Pennywise the Clown from the new version of It?
He looks like Pennywise the Clown from Skid Row.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute. All right, well, listen. Nico, thank you for your call, man. I got your prediction down. Hopefully it's a good fight, and catch you on the next one, right, man? Take it easy out there.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget to hit that like, fellas. Hit that like. We're taking phone calls right now for your predictions for the Prograis Haney fight that's going to be taking place this Saturday. Kind of a weak undercard, I must say. They've got female boxing on it, which I've grown to like the female boxing fights. Hear me out here, fellas. The reason why I like the female cards is because it gives me a chance to get up, stretch my legs. If I'm cooking nachos or something for the fight, it gives me time to go ahead and do that. So I've learned to, if life gives you lemons, a pair of nice big tit lemons, make a nice big jug of tit lemonade. All right, let's go to the phone call here, fellas. Don't forget to hit the like. Let's go to 336. 336, you're on the air. 336, what's on your mind?
Yo, what's up, baby BDA? I gotta say one thing. I'm very proud of your prediction. You know, you went with your head instead of your heart. Because if you had picked Prograis, I'd have sent you a high quality goon to your house.
First of all, I never pick with my heart,
training.
man. Even if I hate somebody. First of all, I don't hate boxers. That's a strong word. Hate is the only boxer I would hate is somebody like Joel Scott, and you know the story behind that one. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, so you made a good point about Haney's long lunging strides, and if he got clipped by something, let's say a Prograis instead of a Loma, potentially he could get knocked down. But another variable people are missing is he's not going to have to, you know, stride that long at times when he's coming in to attack because Prograis has far slower feet. His reflexes aren't as good as Loma's, and the thing is, Loma was able to get out of range a lot of those body shots. That's why you started to see Haney lunge. With Prograis, there will be no such thing because his feet just aren't, they're not what Loma's are. So he's not going to have to put himself in those kind of vulnerable positions. So I didn't get my prediction down on the last episode. You were doing with other people like on the panel and shit. But I think it's going to be a 118, 110, 117, 111 wide Haney boring UD. So I think what will end up happening is, you know, Robesi Ramirez, he's fighting a bum, but it'll be like a fun, entertaining fight, and he'll knock him out because the guy does have power, so he might be able to clip him. That's my prediction on that. But I think we need to be really paying attention to the Bati Diagasiev fight, you know, a former gold medalist versus another bronze medalist. They fought in the Olympics, and the gold medalist beat the bronze medalist, blah, blah, blah. He went on to become the gold medalist. And this was in the semifinal. So I think what will happen is, you know, Bati Diagasiev wins, and maybe we can see him fight Frank Martin or Zepeda next year, because Frank Martin and Zepeda are in talks to fight now. Potentially, Frank Martin's apparently calling out Zepeda. That's a great fight. So I'd like to see that. Maybe Bati Diagasiev gets the winner, because I don't think Tank is going to fight Zepeda anytime soon. If we're going to be honest, I think he's just going to cherry pick and duck. But that's a really, really good fight in Saudi Arabia. That's under the radar. Or I think it's in Dubai, actually. But anyways, yeah, it's flying under the radar. It's two former Olympians fighting and two undefeated prospects. And Bati Diagasiev fights a lot like Zepeda. High volume, southpaw, you know, and all that shit. He's not very tall. He's only like 5'5", 5'6", but he's entertaining as shit. So I can't wait to see that. I'm not really too interested in Haney Prograis fight. I know how it's going to play out, unfortunately. Right. I hope I'm wrong, but Haney's, you know, Mo athletic, as the blacks like to say. He's got all the physical dimensions on fucking Prograis. He's going to be taller, longer. He's got better feet. You know, he's just more he's the more explosive athlete, but Prograis is the harder puncher. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Haney just can't punch through a wet brown liquor bag.
Well, we'll see, man.
UD for Haney.
Boxing is the theater of the unexpected, so we shall see.
Yeah, that is somewhat true, but I mean, Haney's a 5-1 favorite for a reason, you know. So this fight's ass, garbage truck juice, and he'll go cherry pick Tank's leftovers or old Thurman instead of fighting a Teofimo or a fucking Matias or anything like that, because that's just how these guys move, you know. These blacks don't like taking chances anymore in boxing, so it is what it is. And then Sonny Edwards or Ben Rodriguez stopped Sonny Edwards the week after. So those are my predictions for the upcoming fights in December. Hope Regis wins, but he's not going to.
All right, well, listen, Dora, thank you for
Chris the Crip never called back in after losing money on bum trade. So whenever he calls back in, eventually, you know, he's holding that L right now. We got to ask him how much money he lost. And that's it. I'll see you around.
All right. Thank you for your call, Dora. Take it easy out there, Raymond. Thank you for your prediction. All right, let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 347. We are taking phone calls and predictions here for the Prograis Haney fight. 347, you're on the air. 347, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, man? It's NPR. How you doing?
Ooh, NPR, man. What's up?
Oh, yeah, man. I got Haney by UD by, you know, boring jab and grab, runaway, universal decision. He's going to have a little bit of a hard time grabbing against an southpaw fighter, right? It's a little bit, it's a different trick, right, to do that. But I'm just going to call his style jab and grab anyway. But
he's going to
run away and
I hate
part
to
of the
be uncouth here.
I hate to be on. It's the fact Prograis.
I hate to be uncouth, but you can just call it. I hate to be a crass, crude, but you can call it the ass style, the American slick style. I mean, it's not indicative of all Americans, but it's the most egregious form of the American style. So, if you want to go with that one,
it's so dull. It's so dull, but it's not even done to beautiful perfection. I mean, if you could call, Mayweather did it to perfection, right? But it's done in this very boring, and Shakur is an extreme example of that, where he's not even throwing his jab. But as terms of what Prograis lacks is that he throws that ridiculous kind of lunging, double jab to work his way in. Haney's not going to engage with that. He's going to back out and tire him out. One or two times he'll plant his feet and crack him, and he's not going to be able to work his way in over a taller, longer fighter who's faster than he is. That's number one. Number two is that even if Prograis were to engage, if you take a look at the way Prograis throws punches, he's got his thumb in the air. He never flattens out his punches. They come from arcs, and it's like who used to throw punches like that as what's his name, Sean Porter. It's kind of like you put your head down a little bit and you swing. He's got beautiful, by the way. He's got beautiful kind of changes levels beautifully. He really does, but his punches are never flattened down. So he's a shorter guy to begin with. And you want as much extension on your punches as possible. Well, you got to turn him over. I mean, there's no way he's going to be able to turn. He's not going to be able to reach Haney. Haney's going to get out of the way, and eventually, that's not going to work. But I have a suggestion. Coming up is the Inoue Tapales fight, and I did a good breakdown on that. I'll call back, or maybe you could bring me in. And I've done a little research on Tapales. He's doing some good things, and I'd like to definitely talk to you guys about that. Okay, gentlemen?
Absolutely. When that fight comes up, we'll patch you through, man. All right, NPR? Thank you for your call, and call back next time, right, man?
That's beautiful, man. He's doing beautiful things. Some really nice things he's doing. And I looked past him. I'm a little guilty in this regard. So I looked past him. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I looked past him and I kind of disregarded what he was doing. And I don't think I did him a good service in being a quality fighter. He's a very good fighter. Anyway, guys, God bless. I'll see you guys later.
All right, NPR. Take care of that voice, all right, man? It's really your bread and butter. All right, take it easy out there, man. Man, if I could steal that voice, man, let me tell you something. All I gotta play sound effects to compensate.
I'm not gay. Just because I love his ass doesn't make me gay.
All right, hey, fellas, don't forget to hit that like, all right? Hit that like. Where are we at with the likes here? Because we got more phone calls, but if we're 130 viewers and we are 44 likes, that is unacceptable. That is totally unacceptable, egregious, and unbearable, to tell you the truth. If we don't get to, let's get it to 80 likes, all right? 80 likes, I think we can do that. If we don't, we're going to have to either stop the phone calls, or I'm just going to sit here rather. I'm not standing. I'm not a fucking nut job. But I'll just play a bunch of sound effects. And they will be the most annoying sound effects that I can find. Like, for example, what the fuck? No, that's not annoying.
You see that? You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Feel me?
Yeah, like you see that without any context, you don't know what's going on. You're gonna be perplexed. You're gonna be confused and horrified by some of the stuff I gotta play. So let's get it to 80. All right, we're at 54 now. That means about 26 people more gotta hit it, and we'll be all right. All right, 26 people hit it. Don't make any dirty jokes like 26 people already hit your girlfriend or your wife. Haha. Let's be calm, concise. Hit that like. All right. Let's go to another phone call then. At least one more phone call, and if we come back and we're at 80, we're gonna be good. 5110, you're on the air. 5110, what's on your mind?
5110. The fuck are you talking about? Hey, what's up, BDA? It's Mr. Booty Juice. I want to say this. Fuck Bicho. He's a hating ass bitch. And then also fuck Canelo and fuck the Canelitas. And basically, I was just gonna call back in. I think I'm stand firm. Even though I didn't just like what you just mentioned about about Prograis, what he said about the Mexican style. I don't understand to this day why the ass camp of boxing always has like a negative connotation with the Mexican style. As you mentioned before, it's not a stupid style. It's not a simple style. It has its nuances, so I don't understand why they always bring it down. It is what it is. I just dislike the fact that when you say anything about them, you know, they complain, oh, it's because I'm black, oh, because I'm this, because I'm that. And like, yo, man, shut the fuck up, man. We don't give a shit about that, man. We just want to see good fights. We want to get our money's worth, that's it. But yeah,
well,
other than that, I mean, hopefully he didn't decide to be fought a box with Haney because he might have some successes. I think he is not as bad as people make him out to be, but I would kind of have to agree with what Gonzalo said prior to if he decides to be cute with Prograis and decides to box with him. I think regardless of Haney with decision, you know, he'll edge him out on the card for sure. So hopefully he doesn't do that and make the fight, because regardless, I don't think the fight is going to be exciting. I'm just looking forward to it because I smell nuts. Like I said, I think if anything, Devin Haney has a lot of strengths and a lot of weaknesses. But one of the things I've noticed across the board, he tends to not be as composed as his other. If you want to group them all together, he's not as composed as the other people that imply or execute the ass style. So that is something that I think Prograis should take advantage of and just crack them and put them out. So I don't know what you think about that.
First of all, I just want to say that when I talk about the ass style, you could say the same thing. I'm talking about the worst aspect of a specific style. So the worst aspect of the Mexican style is when you get these guys that don't really put any skill into it and really do barge forward and live up to the stereotype of Mexican style. But then you got the high-level Mexican style. Yeah. It's people who put some defense behind it and who can actually cut the ring off and actually take the fight out of the judge's hands. Same thing with Crawford is a very good boxer. The last time he stunk the joint out was about 7 years ago, so he hasn't really done that in a while. So you got to respect his American style. That's the epitome that's in it. But then you got guys who just run around the ring, one punch at a time, clinch, shaking their ass for 12 rounds. That's the ass style. That's the ass style. And there's no booty juice coming out of that. Let me tell you, you can't really extract any nectar, ass nectar out of it. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but even let's entertain the other aspect of the argument. Let's say, as you mentioned, like the lesser complex forms of the Mexican style, it's still appealing to the boxing audience. So that's the thing. What I don't understand why it's still looked down upon, because regardless, let's say you have a fucking like a dumbass just go in there and just tee off on each other, right? It's still good for the sport, as opposed to you see the majority of the ass style in display even now. It's fairly negative. Overall, people don't like, nobody wants to watch that shit. Nobody cares to watch it. There's a reason why a lot of the boxing, you know, I remember back even when I was a lot younger, like in high school, man, like people enjoyed boxing. People still talked about it. People still watched it. Now it's like, there's practically nobody other than my immediate family that even still wants to watch the sport. So that's what I still think that overall it's a stupid ass, argument, or I don't know what they're trying to make, but it's pretty dumb, because at the end of the day, even the most boring Mexican style is still far more entertaining, and it gets a lot more people to watch the show than the ass style. So, you know, that's where I'm at.
That's a good point.
I figured I'd chime in on that a bit.
All right, we should do a show on the ass style.
Well, what was that?
No, I said we should do a show on the ass style. But yes, go ahead, man.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, hopefully Prograis doesn't decide to default on that. That's going to be terrible. I think he won't. He needs to crack this dude and press him and you know, fucking he's vulnerable in that sense. Even when it's like you mentioned this before, even with Tank, like I don't understand what people even when they talk about his defensive. Obviously, he has a great sense of timing, right? I think that's unilaterally what's been said about Tank. Even then, that guy still gets cracked. He still gets touched. In different way, it's not even in the same, he doesn't get caught in the same exact way, he gets caught differently. So that's the thing that I don't like about none of these guys too. How the fuck, this is what gets to me, right, and I'm just saying with this, how the fuck do these guys want to be the Floyd Mayweather, whatever the fuck, whatever,
well,
you know, they're all Floyd Mayweather wannabes, right?
Yeah, you're getting into a whole other thing there, man. You're getting into a whole other thing there, but you're right, man. We're going to talk about that after the fight, depending on how Haney fights, because if he delivers, we'll give him his credit, and if he doesn't, We got to call it out as well,
Yeah.
man. Same thing goes for
But
Prograis.
I was just gonna end with this. How the fuck do these guys want to be like him when they don't even have an era like the Pretty Boy Floyd era? Like, to this day, it doesn't make sense to me at all. What the fuck are these guys thinking? How do they expect to make that much money? The attention, it's crazy, man. But yeah, I'll end with that, man. I'll see you.
All right, take it
that's all I
easy
have to
there.
say.
Thank you, Buddy Juice. All right, take it
All
easy,
right, take
man.
it
Yeah, by the way, I just checked, man. We're at 60 likes. 20 people, so only 4 people hit the like, I think. 20 people need to hit that like. 80 likes. Otherwise, we call it a night here. All right, fellas? Otherwise, we call it a night. I don't want to do it, but you're leaving me no choice here. You got to help me help you. Let's go to these live chats here and see what we got going on. I see we got a couple of super chats. So shout out to Medardo Garcia for his contribution with the super chat. And he says, I want Haney to lose, but that's not going to happen. Haney is going to win by decision in a very dirty, boring fight. Please don't support this fraud. I mean, listen, the pay-per-view, if you're really talking about taking money away from this, I don't see this own pay-per-view doing that well. Like I said, the undercard's trash, or very thin, rather. Not trash, but thin. And then on top of that, the main event, it's 2 guys that nobody really knows about. I mean, I've heard some people say Devin Haney's a star, future star. At least Floyd Mayweather dazzled and razzled with his skill. And he had a lot more explosiveness behind his shots. And there was a certain masterful aspect behind or around his style that they could build a mystique around in terms of pay-per-views. And that took about 10 years to build, by the way. It didn't come overnight. Haney just does not have that same skill set. He clinches more, and he's not going to be a star. I'm telling you. I mean, hey, crazier things have happened, but at this point, there's nothing that makes people go, wow, he doesn't knock people out. He doesn't fight aggressively. It is what it is. So it's just wishful thinking at this point from some people. But Eduardo Garcia, I get your prediction. You're saying Haney. I'm writing it down by Boring UD. All right. We also got Open the Gates. Shout out to Open the Gates. No contribution. I mean, no comment, but shout out to him for his contribution. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And yeah, man, keep it coming, fellas. Really help us out, man. This really funds our enterprise here. Hold on a second. All right. Shout out to, hey, by the way, let's pray for Old Stock. He's a member of our Discord. Shout out to Old Stock, and we got to pray for his father who got into an accident recently. But he's fine. But it's still, I don't know if there's still something unanswered there in regards to his condition. So let's pray for Old Stock's father right there. Just throw in a couple of prayers for him before you go to sleep. All right. Where else were we at here? Where are we at with the phone calls here? Well, we're at 69 likes. All right, that's good. But we're 11 likes away from the phone lines here, so I don't know what to tell people. Let me just say real quick here, hey, to the people on the line there. Hold on. Give us aguántale, like they say in Spanish, and we'll get to you. All right, we just need to. 11 people need to hit that. 10 people, look at that. 10 people need to hit that like. You hit that like, we're on track for good things, big things. All right, I want to show you something here. People say, well, Prograis, can he make it happen? Well, I got something here that's really going to, I think, enlighten a lot of you guys. If you saw the video that we did a couple of weeks ago, it's still up there on YouTube. We're going to get into the whole, a little breakdown of these guys' profiles or dossiers. And I think this is really going to be enlightening for a lot of people here, what I'm about to show you. So, before, if we get to, within a couple of minutes, if we get to 80 likes, I'll go back to the phone lines. If not, I guess we end it here. So what I wanted to show you guys was in regards to Prograis' footwork, because hold on a second. It's not what I wanted to show you. I got the clip right here. Hold on. Fuck, is it even opening? Okay, here we go. Now, like I said, you look at him. The first thing you notice here from Prograis, he's open for left hooks. See that? When he comes in with the straight left, he drops his right hand. Now that's usually not a big problem, but see how he's getting hit there with the left? Same there. Oh, there he was open for a left hook, but he didn't land. Right there again. Right there. Let's look at that in slow motion. Look at how front foot heavy he is. tilting forward. I mean, I got to tell you, this ain't going to cut it against Haney. I know a lot of people like to... Shit, I got to stop that right there. I know a lot of people, disparage Haney. Okay, he lost to Lomachenko. Prograis is bigger than Lomachenko. He hits hard Lomachenko, but he doesn't set up the offense the same way that Lomachenko does. That's just the reality. And I mean, he's going to have to set his feet to punch. And if he goes in there and sets his feet and he's not even setting it up properly with feints, jabs, Haney's going to be out of the way. Now, again, there's a couple of differences between how Zorrilla fights and how Haney fights. Zorrilla, he takes little stutter steps, sticks his ass out, and he's able to move around the ring a little bit more smoothly than Haney. Whereas Haney, like Dora reminded us, he's got that long gazelle style, the antelope stride. And by the way, there was a guy, because I pointed at that in one of the videos, and there was a guy who goes, now Haney did that in order to cut off Lomachenko's avenues, to cut off his angles, to cut off the pivots. I'm thinking, well, okay, let's say he did that, which he didn't, by the way, because when you're doing that, you can't do anything. You're lunging in with the right hand, your feet wide open, knees almost touching the canvas. You can't move after that. And he got hit on top of that, Haney did. He's vulnerable to get hit because he's lunging down with his hands down as well. And he can't move. So, I mean, some people, they'll just come up with something off the top of their head to try to make it seem as if they know what they're talking about and defend their fighter. We're at 79 likes, fellas. 79 likes. So one more person hits that like and we go to the phone lines here. Otherwise, we got to move on, man. It's the season to be jolly, man. Got some hot chocolate, some marshmallows. Put on some Christmas decorations. Hit the like, fellas. I'm looking at it now. 79 likes. One more person hits that like. We're in business here. There we go. 80 likes. All right. Shout out to you, fellas. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Let's go to 925. 925, you're on the air. 925, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, BDA?
What's up?
Hello? Bueno, hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. 925, what's up?
Hey, what's up, bro? About the Haney and Prograis fight, I just feel like Haney's just going to outbox him. He's going to outsmart him, outbox him. He's going to look like a champ out there, Regis he's a strong puncher, but honestly, he can't fuck with Haney. And he's just going to go out there and outbox him. Everybody thinks that Prograis is going to knock him out. He couldn't do shit with the last opponent he fought. I believe his name is Zepeda. And he didn't do shit. He was frustrated. And with Haney, he's just going to be he's going to be the smarter fighter, and he's going to get frustrated. He's going to just clearly whoop his ass for 12 rounds, and I believe Haney's going to win with decision, but it's going the distance, and he's going to take that W.
All right, now what's your name, caller, or your nickname, so I can write it down here?
Richie Rich.
Richie Rich. All right, Richie Rich. I got you down for Haney outboxes Prograis. Now, whenever I make a prediction, especially in this fight, I'm not saying Prograis doesn't have a chance, but I'm thinking he has more obstacles to surmount than Haney does. So my question to you is, how much of a chance do you give Prograis?
I mean, as boxer, I do give him a small chance, but I'd say maybe 30% chance he wins, but it's slim, Like I said, Haney's just going to clearly outbox him and beat his ass. He's a bigger dude, and I'm actually going to be there. I got my tickets 2 months ago.
Oh,
I'm
really?
going to the fight, me and my family, and I can't wait.
Can you start screaming?
I've been waiting for a fight to come to the...
Which row are you going to be sitting in? Which row are you going to be sitting in? Pretty far, pretty close? Give us a ballpark here.
No, I got some pretty mid-level tickets. I paid a good penny, and me and my family are going to be there. And I didn't want to sit way up there. I wanted to pay a good price for them. So I got some mid-level tickets. So
would it be
I can't
possible?
wait. I've been waiting for a fight to come to the Bay Area for a long time, and it's here. And I hope Haney brings it back again.
What are the chances that you could start screaming obscenities? Just if we can hear it on the air, and you log onto the Discord, and we'll let you know if it works. If it doesn't work, then you can stop. But would you be willing to try that?
Scream what?
Obscenities. And there's no law against
Profanities?
it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That too. Yeah.
I mean, people are gonna yell out some crazy shit. You know how we do in the Bay. We get crazy. People get drunk. It's gonna be wild, and I can't wait. And I'm gonna be rooting for Haney. I feel like he lost the Lomachenko fight, but I'm rooting for Haney because he brought it to the Bay, and I hope he brings it back.
Hey, yo, Richie, can you yell this out?
Yee, ski you.
What I do want to yell out is fuck Booty Loose, because every time he calls in, he brings up Canelo. He talks shit about Canelo. So that's what I will yell out, because every time he calls, Canelo this, Canelo that. It's like, bro, get off Canelo's nuts, bro. He's the face of boxing. He'll beat his ass, and I can't wait to see that.
All right,
shut him up.
We shall see, man. All right, we got the Richie Rich versus Booty Loose saga just starting today. All right, well, listen, Richie Rich, anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, that's it. Keep it up, and I'll keep tuning in.
All right, shout out to you, Richie Rich. Thank you for your call, and enjoy yourself at the fight, man. Take it easy out there.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, going to the fight, man. Yeah, that's the thing. I forget. We got a lot of California listeners, so perhaps a lot of these guys are going to be showing up to that fight as well. I mean, that's the other thing. Somebody can clear this out for me, because I'm seeing conflicting reports on Twitter. Some people are saying that the fight's selling well. Other people are saying that it's not selling well, and they're showing maps, schematics of all the available seats. So I don't know, man. I hope it's doing well, man, because we really do need more panache and festivities and pomp and circumstance in this boxing world. Let's go to our phone call here. Let's go to 510. 510, you're on the air. 510, what's on your mind?
Let me just say this to the caller that called in before. I'm going to say whoever the fuck I want to say. If I want to say fuck this or fuck that, I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say. So fuck Canelo, fuck you, fuck the Canelitas. To the guy that was saying shit like, oh, why, fuck this guy. Like, bro, who gives a fuck? Why do you care so much? I've already spoken beforehand as to why Canelo's not good for the sport, right? But y'all, you want to do what you want to do. You believe what you want to believe, right? It is what it is. But, yeah, don't sit here and tell me who I can say fuck Canelo, fuck this, or fuck that. So that's all I have to say about that.
All right, Booty Juice with the encore right there. Shout out to you, Booty Juice, and thank you for your comment. Call back if you feel the need to later on.
Hey, it's Booty Juice.
All right. All right, take it easy, man. Yeah, have a good one there. He's enjoying himself right there. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 323. 323, you're on the air. 323, what's on your mind?
Hey, what up, man? How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Hope you're doing fantastic as well. What's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to say that, I got Haney winning a decision on Saturday night.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think he's going to edge it out, I think it's expected. We're probably going to see him a lot stronger at that 140 weight class. Don't be surprised if he drops Prograis, right?
Yeah, that's what some people are saying. What's your nickname there, caller, so we can write down your prediction?
This is Benzo.
See, I knew it was you, but I mean, I didn't want to break the fourth wall. What? Okay, Benzo. So you're saying Haney unanimous decision, but don't be surprised if Haney drops Prograis.
Prograis, yeah.
Yeah. Who are you rooting for, though?
And I just have who am I rooting for?
Yeah.
If they can both lose, that would be ideal, but one of them has to win. So
that's an interesting answer right there. I didn't think of that. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I would probably say Prograis. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And the guy that just called right now, that booty juice dude. I don't know why that guy's so upset with Canelo, bro. He probably found his wife has like a Canelo dildo or something hidden away. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't know about any type of specialty dildos right there, or any type of dildo for that matter. But listen, it's a free country, and it's a free speech over here on the BD Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena. The Crimson Group has made it known that in all their ventures, they support freedom of speech. So, I mean, we got to go with it, man.
All right, man. Hey, all right, shout out to my homie Slave Hill on the chat. All right, take care.
All right, take it easy, man. All right, what else we got here? Don't forget to hit that like, fellas. Hit that like. We're at 93 likes. All right, fellas, you're doing well out there. You're helping us help you. 7 people hit that like, and we're on to 100, man. We're off to the races, as they say. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 945. 945, you're on the air. 945, what's on your mind?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, this Real Talk Boxing.
What's up, Real Talk?
Yo, what's going on, man? I just wanted to call in to say, fuck Booty Loose.
Oh, come on.
That dude is stupid. Don't know what he's talking about. And he need to get Canelo dick out of his mouth.
Well, I mean, it's a free
But
country.
I got Regis stopping him, bro.
Oh, you got Regis Prograis winning. All right. Break it down.
Man, so here's what I was watching your breakdown, and you were saying how Haney likes to probe with his jab, and he'll leave it out there. And when he leaves it out there, he'll catch a straight coming down the pipeline from a southpaw. And when you're fighting a southpaw like Prograis, that left coming down the pipeline is going to be a lot stronger. It's going to be a lot more thump to it. So, these people who say, Regis won't touch Haney if his art's hard. Haney's not untouchable. He's not some defensive wizard. Yeah, he likes to pick and jab and hold and run, but I don't know if he's gonna want to hold with Regis, because you get that close, you're in punching range. So I think Regis is gonna show up and show out. I think he's gonna put some hands on Haney, and he's gonna pop that double barrel nose wide open.
Oh well, why? So okay, so you're saying stoppage or decision or?
Yeah, I think Regis can really only win by stoppage. I don't think Regis can get a decision fighting Haney, just because of how dirty the LDBC and the people behind Haney are. So I don't think he can get a decision, but I know that he can knock him out, bro. And Haney, the reason why Haney fights that way is because he's a bitch. He's hiding glass. He has a weak chin. That's the only reason to fight like that. If you had some balls, if you had a good solid chin, if you had some power, you wouldn't backfoot bitch as much. You wouldn't have to hold as much. The reason you hold so much is because you can't fucking fight on the inside. It's because you're gonna get tagged up on the inside and you're gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason why Haney fights the way that he does. So he's a coward, and he's a bitch, and he's hiding glass, bro.
Well, listen, maybe he'll prove us wrong.
That big ass fucking nose on his face, bro. He can only protect him for so long.
Well, listen, hopefully he proves us wrong and he actually brings in. I'm not asking him to slug it out, but could you put together a couple of combos in there? Make it snappy, make it juicy. I mean, I don't know, why not? But anything else you want to say there?
You better be careful. I mean, Regis just better be careful, because Haney will suck all the fucking air out the room with that thing.
What's with all that? I get in trouble when I make nose jokes, but I guess you get away scot-free there, Real Talk.
Hey man, you gotta channel it up, Paul. I don't give a fuck, man.
There you go. All right. Anything else you want to say, Real Talk, before we move on?
God bless, though, brother. Man, I'm excited for this fight week, though, especially with Shakur's shitty ass performance and Ryan over there bending over for Austria. I'm hoping for a good fight.
All righty then. All right. Shout out to you, Real Talk. I got your prediction down. Thank you for your call. Saludos. All right. Take it easy, man. All right. Well, listen, fellas, that's been an interesting round of phone calls there. The phone lines are still open, so make sure to call in. Give us your prediction for this Saturday's fight. Shout out to Mr. Poe for his contribution. No, excuse me, Michael Poe for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, put me down, Haney, officially or not unanimous decision. Haney officially or not unanimous decision. Well, I'm just going to write down Haney unanimous decision. All right, Michael? How about that? Michael Poe is going with Haney. And you know what? There's one thing that I've been thinking about, because, hold on a second, we got another Super Chat there. So Haney, unanimous decision. Shout out to Manny G for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, salute BDA, I got Devin Haney by 12-round robbery. Whoa. Some people, so Manny G, so he's expecting 2 robberies in a row for Devin Haney. I got to tell you, man, that would be a bad PR move right there. They should just let him loose, get a defeat, even if it's a close competitive fight, whatever, because I'm telling you, 2 robberies in a row, that really destroys a guy's image. So Haney, he says, by robbery. All right, now, one thing I wanted to say here, fellas, is first of all, where are we at with the likes? We're at 98 likes. 2 more likes, we're at 100. 2 more likes, and we're at 100. All right, fellas. So 2 people need to hit that like. 2 people need to hit that like, or we got what else we got here?
Goddamn rich cunt!
There you go. I'm just gonna play sound effects until we
Cut the bullshit, all right?
Uh-huh.
Food, all right?
This nigga gay.
Come on, you guys want me to keep up? Keep this. Oh, there you go, 101 likes. There you go. Hey, you guys are quick on the trigger right there. Shout out to you fellas. Let me just look at the phone lines here. All right, now, there's one thing that I do believe could actually help Prograis here, because it's like the Canelo versus Benavidez fight. One of the big factors is, can Benavidez take the punch? Because if he starts getting scared or watching out for Canelo's power, in other words, if Canelo's power affects him, then it's going to change the dynamic of the fight. And it's the same thing in this fight. But what I'm referring to here is Prograis' speed. Can he cut the distance? Because, in today's press conference, he was talking about his skill set and his speed, and Haney said, you ain't got no speed. I said, well, wait a minute. I know he's 35, which means he's about 10 years older than Haney, but he's still pretty quick. And if he can cut that distance off before Haney sees it, that could prove to be a deciding factor, because Zorrilla, like I said, he sticks his ass out and he takes little stutter steps. And not for nothing, but according to his record, the guy can actually crack. Let's not forget, he did drop Prograis in that fight, but the referee somehow missed it. The referees always miss when the A side goes on. But anyway, the point is that Prograis did get dropped, and maybe that made him weary. Maybe he tasted the power and said, okay, I got to mind my P's and Q's here. If he doesn't respect Haney's power, he can actually walk forward. That could be something to look out for, because look at this. I mean, Prograis does actually close the distance pretty quickly when he wants to. And here are a couple of clips that I've compiled. Now, this is, obviously, this dude, Diaz, is not, I forget his first name, but this was early in Prograis' career. This is on Showbox, I believe. Yes, it is, according to the title there. And you can tell that he's look at that left hand is dynamite. I mean, say what you want about his footwork, his inability to cut the ring off and blah, blah, blah. But that left hand, the amount of guys he's dropped with it, including Cepeda, nobody had managed to stop him before, and Prograis did. You got to give him credit. Here's against Kirill Relic, who had beaten Rances Barthélemy prior to this, I believe. Or I think he'd gotten another win. This was a semi-final, I think. Forget who he beat to get there. And he just busted Kirill Relic up. So if he can get that left hand in there on Haney, because again, Haney's not Zorrilla. It might turn out that Zorrilla is better than we think. I don't know. I'm just looking at the different angles here for this fight. And Prograis' left hand is really dynamite. But from what I see, that's when he dropped Zorrilla right there. And that was a quick one, too. Let's look at that again. But I am under the impression that the Haneys know that all they really got to watch out for from Prograis is that 1-2. Now, look at this. What happened here, he caught Zorrilla backing up. See how he's backing straight up there, leaning back? And there, he's already, look at how close they are. Look at Prograis' lead foot is pretty much at parallel line there with Zorrilla's heel. So, of course, he's going to get to him. And then, boom, that's a Manny Pacquiao type 1-2 right there. There's another 1-2. But then ultimately, see that? He fell short throughout the night. Those body shots that weren't going to get the job done. Then he gets caught with a left hook. So that left hand, he's really going to have to work it. This is against guys that really can't see the speed coming. Like this dude. This was on the Tank Davis Santa Cruz undercard. This dude just could not see anything coming. He was undefeated, but definitely not on Prograis' level. But man, look at that left hand, man. It's a beauty. But he's essentially a one-handed fighter. That's why I compared him to George Kambosos the other day. Because Kambosos is the same way, man. He's got a good, at least he's got a good, decent left hook, Kambosos. Prograis doesn't even, when he goes to the body, okay, he's got something going. And that's why I'm thinking here, and I think I saw somebody in the chat say the same thing, that he needs to actually work the body and just go for broke and start. I mean, I know that's what a lot of people are saying, but Prograis, when he goes to the body, he can actually do some decent work. Now, against Josh Taylor, that's when we saw him working the body more than ever. But then again, that's because both guys wanted to go to the body. So they sort of, he didn't, in other words, what I'm trying to say is he didn't have to go chasing Josh Taylor in there. So that's a difference. Whereas he did have to chase Zorrilla and he failed at it. But you can see here he's showing you he's got some good hooks. A little too wide, but they're powerful. Some uppercuts as well. Look at him going to the body there. I'm pretty sure both guys pissed blood the next day. And he's got some good bolo punches too that really get behind the guard. And Gonzalo's saying, what's Gonzalo saying? Hold on. Gonzalo says that, hold on a second. He has good over-the-top punches also, yeah. If you're talking about, I don't know if he means exactly what I'm saying about the bolo punches there, but shout out to Just Brian, by the way. Shout out to Just Brian for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, tell Booty Loose to get his cheeks clapped. I don't know, for some reason I'm looking at the photo of his dog there, and it sounds like that dog is saying that vile, vulgar, dare I say violent message right there. But shout out to Just Brian for his contribution with the Super Chat. All right, let me invite a couple of people here because I'm playing these videos, but I'm curious to get other people's input in this fight. Tomorrow we shall be having, I believe, the mandatory whatchamacallit, the open lines. So there will be more coverage of this fight, and especially after the weigh-in, if there's any craziness occurring, we'll get to that as well. Hold on a second, I'm inviting some people here. The phone, don't forget the phone lines are still open, by the way, fellas, so make sure to call in if that is indeed your inclination. All right, I see we got the Jimmy Reno here. Jimmy, are you there? Can you guys hear me? Gonzalo, can you hear me? Don't tell me I got them muted. I was talking to Recognize today. Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me, BDA?
Yeah, now we can hear. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. All right, fantastic. Let me share the screen with you here, fellas, because we will be watching some clips here. Hold on. Who am I forgetting to invite here? A couple more people. Hold on a second. But what do you guys think about that? Because one of the X factors that I'm looking at here now is, I'm leaning towards Haney, but I do give Prograis a good chance. And just as Prograis is sort of overestimating his own skill set, I also believe Haney's underestimating Prograis' hand speed. He is pretty quick on the trigger. What do you guys think? Do you expect Haney to be able to shut that down with technique and his own speed, or is he going to get clipped in there?
He'll shut it down if Prograis does it sparingly. Prograis can't sit idle and moving at the waist, posturing, because although every fighter's got a right to do that, bend at the waist and sit on a little bit on the outside and allow the other guy to take the initiative for you can also like counter it and play that role. People expect him to always be the dude that coming forward and punching because he's a puncher. So when he's sitting idle and posturing a little too much, the judges are like, what the fuck is he doing? I don't think he gets the credit. And yeah, because judges got the, I believe even like the whole aura about the card, when you expect something from somebody, I mean, you get the feeling that like if you're not doing that, it's like you're falling behind. Like they don't expect that from Haney. Haney is a boxer. So you would never expect Haney to put pressure on you. So as long as Haney's boxing, he's winning. Prograis got the right to do that, but we don't want him. We don't want him as fans and as like the people that are calling the fight and the judges to lose the plot, because that's how people will start perceiving it, that he's losing the plot. So he's got to not doing sparingly and get up on that dude's chest and throw them bolos, the over the top, the haymakers, and when you throw them over the top, he can change levels and throw these little short shots under, like the hooks that he got with the left hand. That's what he got to do. He got to go buck wild, in other words.
he's gotta go buck wild on that ass, is what you're saying. That's a quote right there from Gonzalo. Jimmy, you got something to say about that? Do you think Prograis' speed can cut the distance against Haney? All right, I think Jimmy's busy there. Well, let me ask you guys this then. If we move on over to the other thing here, which is, I want to play you this clip here Again, I played it earlier. You might have heard it already. For in case other people didn't hear it, or new listeners jumping in, let's play what Prograis had to say about his skill set and how he can. Oh, yeah, Jimmy, I can hear you now. You wanna? Well, okay. Let me play this clip here, and then we'll talk about technique again later. But
okay, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. This is what Prograis had to say about his style and as it compares to other styles.
As like power versus skill, but I'm really on my skill. That's what I've been doing here. I've been like training so hard for here, working on all the things I need to work on. Yes, I got power, but I think it's gonna shock. I think it's not everybody. I think it's gonna shock him about my speed, how fast I really am. It's not gonna be the power. The power is one thing, but I'm not just going and just prodding and walking down like I'm a Mexican. I know it's gonna be some skill going on.
So he says, I'm not gonna barge in there like a Mexican. There's actually gonna be some skills in there. Meaning Mexican style has no skills. And now I'm thinking, okay, now he better really get to Haney. Because if he looks as clueless as he did against Zorrilla, I'm going to think, well, maybe we should have gotten a Mexican in there against Haney. At least he would have known how to cut the ring off. What do you guys make of those statements?
Yeah, he was saying that when I say he should, huh? Yeah. No, when I say go, there's a method to the madness. In other words, if you think about it too much, it's not gonna come out the way you want. You just gotta let go, and it's gotta be instinctual. You can't hesitate. But I'm surprised that he would say that because I think he's a fan of Canelo, and he would even pick Canelo to beat Crawford handedly when others wouldn't. So he understands that Mexican got skills. Maybe he just messed up by saying that.
Jimmy, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I think I agree with. I don't think he meant that to come out the way it did. Really, you know what I mean? I think he just kind of tripped over himself with that. Because I mean, if you take it on face value, it's a pretty fucked up thing to say. I'm not going to fight like a Mexican. I'm going to fight like a skilled person. But so I don't believe he really believes that. Listen, he's fast. Like I said before, he's a very talented athlete. He's very athletic. That's always what's carrying him, his athleticism and his speed, which is a part of his athleticism. But Gonzalo's 100% right. In order for him to be able to stop Haney, he's going to have to be able to throw punches. See, like Lomachenko throws much straighter punches. When you throw kind of punches, even with the slightest bit of a hook, even if you're very fast, the more of a hook and an angle you put a punch on, the longer it takes to get there. Fast hands, straight fast punches are always the best. And again, he's gonna look glacierish compared to like Lomachenko's straight punches because he's got them short little T-Rex arms. He's right in close on you, pop fast. So he's gonna have to throw like the bolos, the come in under a jab, and then just come in with some over the top, catch him with something he's not expecting. You know what I mean? And catch him because. The one thing about Haney we've seen is when he does get buzzed, he tends to hang on to that buzz for a bit. He doesn't shake shit off very quick. If he's really been, tickled, he tends to stay tickled. So it's on him if he does get him even a little goofy to jump on him and just start flailing and make it ugly. The thing is, you cannot let Haney get into a rhythm. If Haney starts going into a rhythm, those rounds will fly by for him.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So just disrupt his rhythm.
That's what I was getting at the other day when I said that it could get frustrating for us as viewers, where Haney's outboxing him, and it's just one round of the same thing after the other, and you're ripping your hair out, going, hey, Prograis, let your hands go, because let's face the facts. We saw a facsimile of that in the Zorrilla fight. So I mean, hopefully I'm wrong. Like you guys, I'm rooting for Prograis here. But, man, I think that Haney's had some fantastic matchmaking going on here. We'll see, man.
With Zorrilla, he does hit hard because he 13 knockouts and 14 fights, and Prograis was sitting a little bit too outside on the outside, wary of Zorrilla's a straight right hand, obviously down the middle, and he was just giving that a little too much respect that he just didn't want to he was just being too cautious, just step in recklessly. So that it's not that he can't cut the distance. It's just that he didn't necessarily want to. You know, he was being just a little too cautious because he's done it before. He's carved himself a pretty good resume. Abel Ramos was a puncher back in the day and still is, but I'm saying that was a long time ago. He got experience. Cepeda can also crack, and he was able to walk those dudes down. Now, guys with better legs, it's not just the legs. You have to have some power in order to get your opponent's respect. And I think that if Prograis can deal with Haney's power, he is going to be able to step in. Now, the thing, once again, throwing them hooks over the top opens up the body. So if he gets Haney covering upstairs, then all of a sudden he changes the level and throws them short hooks with the left hand. So it's very important that he mixes up the attacks upstairs and downstairs for Prograis, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Gonzalo, I'm showing some clips here of Prograis, and everything you're saying. Now, of course, that's what he needs to do. But look at how well, here he's being overcautious. But see that when he does fire, he's too far away. And he doesn't know how to work his way on the inside. He's used to that 1-2 cutting the distance real quick. And when it doesn't work against Zorrilla, because I mean, not for nothing, but he's looked good against southpaws and right-handers that were never really that good to begin with. So when he fights a guy like Zorrilla, who was the best righty that he ever fought, all of a sudden he looked normal. And I watch a lot of Prograis fights, and I try to find out his weaknesses. The only weakness I could find was that he was fighting with his hands down a little bit too much and that front foot tilting forward. But nobody had ever taken advantage of it, so it didn't seem that egregious. But then against Zorrilla, it was night and day. I mean, it was clarity, crystal clear. So I don't know, man.
I think that, you know, as the saying goes, the belief is that the southpaw killer is the straight right hand. It could also be said that the left hand is the orthodox killer, right?
Absolutely.
But the southpaw killer is a straight right hand, and I think if you look at those clips, Prograis was just a little too wary of that straight right hand, and I think that's what Zorrilla trained for. If we're gonna get this dude, somebody told them that we gotta drop the straight right hand against the lefty. Because if you think of Taylor, like even though Prograis lost that fight, Taylor was a guy that could throw punches with either hand, hooks, uppercuts, a jab, straight left. That was Taylor. But with Zorrilla was one hand that he was really worried about and concerned. It was the straight right, and that's why he just didn't go in there recklessly.
Yeah, but
that's what Zorrilla was trying to do. Time him with that shot.
Right. You don't think Haney's gonna try to do the same thing?
Yeah, but I don't think he got the power like that. I'm not saying that he's not gonna win and that he cannot freeze you with the speed and the timing, that he's punching at a different rhythm, kind of like Shakur. Yeah, they're punching at a different rhythm. It's gonna like freeze you in place, like he did against Linares. Right, that will happen, but eventually, if you're able to assimilate that power, and later on when he starts wearing down, yeah, you're gonna be able to close the distance.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's not all just we've said it before on this show. It's not all just skills pay the bills. It's also power. If a guy feels the power and he can't handle it, I mean, look at Andrade. He felt the power and he couldn't take it, and he just tapped out. Let's go to a phone call here real quick. And fellas, let's don't forget to hit the like. We're at 119 likes right now. Let's try to get it to 125. All right, that's 6 likes. It's not a lot. I think you guys can do it. Let's go to a phone call here. Let's go to 818. 818, you're on the air. 818, what's on your mind?
Hey, Mr. BDA. Thanks for taking my call. I just want to say, ever since I heard this fight get announced, I always believed Haney. I always picked Haney to win by decision. But after these remarks from Regis, these racial remarks, now I'm hoping for a KO, man. I'm hoping for Haney to just destroy him and humiliate this guy. What kind of shit is that? He's stupid as hell to say that, because now he's putting unnecessary pressure on himself to perform now. Now he better cut that ring off, right? He likes to act like Mexicans don't have skills. Okay, if it's so easy to cut the ring off, how come not everybody can do it? It's a lot of skill involved with the way Mexicans fight. It just Mexicans make it look easy, but it's really not that easy, and he's going to find out because Devin Haney has great footwork, great movement, and he's going to have trouble cutting that ring off. That's all I got to say, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, wait. Is this the boxing scientist? No, he hung up. Fuck, I wanted to write down the prediction right there, man. All right, shout out to everybody who's been calling in, everybody who's been hitting the like, hit the like with another phone call here. Let's go to 925. 925, you're on the air, 925. What's in your mind?
Hey, what's up, BDA? What's going on?
What's up,
I just
man?
called because I missed you, bro. I'm fucking with you.
All right, what's up, man?
Hey, man. I'm just saying that, damn, bro, I think Prograis should pull it off. Well, I'm from the Bay, so, you know what I mean? But I don't really give a damn with this fight. I'm just going to go watch the fight, but I wish Prograis do pull it off. I just hope so, but I think Haney's going to outbox him, you know what I mean?
All right, so you're saying
he's going to outbox.
Haney outbox, okay. Haney,
yeah, I think Haney going to win, like in the decision, but I would wish that Prograis knock his ass out. And I'm from the Bay, bro, but I'm not rooting for Haney, but I know he's going to pull it off just because of his skills, you know, face better opponents. That's my prediction is, but to be honest, I'm going to go out there and just have some fun, you know. I'm going to go get drunk with Richie Rich and yell out, fuck Booty Boy, whatever that boy name is.
Ah, come on. Everyone's going after booty juice today. But who is this again?
This is Kiki.
Kiki, all right, Kiki. Shout out to you, Kiki. So you're going to the fight with Richie Rich, huh?
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Are you going to be paying attention?
It's my son.
Okay. Shout out to him, and it's a family affair. Now,
we listen to you all the time. I said, let me shout out to BDA. I miss him. So I gotta say what's up. El papi chulo, rico suave.
Okay, come on. Now, what's going on here? But hey, there's going to be a female fight on the undercard, I believe. Are you going to be watching that intently, or?
Say it again, because you cut off. What was that again?
There's going to be a female fight on the undercard. Are you going to be watching that intently, or is that a chance for you to go to the bathroom, get a beer?
Nah, I love boxing. I mean, I'm a boxing fan, so we're going to be I watch beginning to the end. And I'll be watching intensely, man. That's going to be a good fight. I saw him actually on the weigh-in today, and it was like, it looks like, it's going to, girls give a better fight sometimes.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
You're a better person than I am.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much. Good fight. All right, well, listen, Kiki, anything else you want to say before we move on?
I'll just shout out to the Bay Area, babies. Can't wait for Saturday night.
All right, man. Shout out to you, man. Get your prediction down and enjoy the fight.
Stay up, PDA.
All right, thank you for your comment. Take it easy.
Take care of your son.
You too, man.
Grazie.
All right, there you see. Hey, two people so far that we know are going to the fight. We're going to have some eyes on the ground, some boots on the ground. I got to tell you, the BD Army on the path of the Crimson Cross. Let's go back to the panel here, and don't forget to hit that like, fellas. Hit that like. The phone lines are still open if you want to call in and give us your prediction. All right, so we were talking about whether Prograis can cut the distance and get to Haney. That's really the thing here, because just like we said about Andrade going into the Benavides fight, look, Prograis is in a bit of the same boat. 35 years old. What's his best win? Really? It's a Cepeda fight. And let me tell you something, that's a hell of a lot better than anything Andrade ever did. But it's still nothing that makes you go, wow. I mean, I doubt if he even gets, maybe in today's International Boxing Hall of Fame with the standards they've got, maybe they'll let him in. I don't know. But if it were the Boxing Hall of Fame from the 1950s, or, I mean, I don't know if there was an International Boxing Hall of Fame in the 50s, but the old standards, they wouldn't have let him in. So, 35 years old, guys, I don't want to see him looking clueless. I don't want to see him there overthinking it. Like, if he's getting on box, I want to see some action. I want to see some fire. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, at some point you got to go for broke, right? Yeah, go ahead, Jim. Sorry, Jim. Maybe I got a delay.
Oh, no, it's just a timing thing, dude. You know what I mean? Sorry. No, finish what you're saying, bro. I'll go after you.
No, that's it. That's all I want to say.
All right. I think he has to listen. He cannot try to box with them. He can't. I know, like, it's not a good sign for me that he's talking about he wants to, unless he's just saying that to give, false sense of security to, Haney talking about he's been working on his skills. He's going to surprise people with his skills. That would just be, not the smart thing to do. He needs to go in there and just get rough. Just go in there and be like, I'm a tougher guy than you. And show him that. And the first time he hits him, too, he has to get him worried about his power. Like even Lomachenko, when he fought Haney, the first time he caught him, and he caught him hard. And it just, Haney was after that, was looking for that punch. So that also goes a long way in keeping him from getting set in a rhythm. But again, if he lets Haney get into a rhythm and get comfortable in there, it's just, it's going to be a long night for Prograis, especially that he's 35. And again, I hope I'm wrong. I stated that, but we'll see.
What I'm showing on the screen, excuse me, is what I'm afraid of. He's got no guard. Well, there he, incidentally, but even then it was a flawed guard. There's a big hole. I'm afraid of this. Him with his hands down, just getting out-jabbed all night. Because when you start getting hit flush with jabs like this, or with left hooks, which is, again, the southpaw killer, it's frustrating. And it causes guys to start jumping in, like Kambosos. Kambosos, the more he got hit with that jab, the more he was hurting, the more he was getting frustrated and embarrassed, and the more his technique went out the window, what little technique he had. And so that's what I'm afraid of here with Prograis, that he's going to be eating jabs like this all night long, and he's just going to get disheveled, looking for one big left hand, as opposed to going to the body, feinting, working. And you know what Bill Haney said? I'm going to pause it right here. Bill Haney said, we know you only got one hand. And he sort of intimated that they'd been spying on Prograis' camp, which is unfortunately an age-old tradition of cheating, where guys have spies in the other guy's camp. But and Prograis say, I got two hands. The fuck you talk about? And I'm thinking, does Prograis really have two hands, guys? You tell me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, he can hook with the right hand,
he's got two.
All right, hold on. What is there's a delay here, or what's going on?
Maybe,
hold on.
probably.
Jim, let's do a little test real quick. Gonzalo, you say something, and Jimmy, as soon as you hear
I'm
him.
having a bad.
All right, Jimmy, jump off and then jump back in, because I think the delay's on your end. In fact, I'm actually gonna.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take him off the group, and then I'll send him the invite here. But go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yes, and the thing, okay, right hand. No, he hits hard with both hands. Prograis does. The thing, okay, Haney will be the bigger guy, but he's really fought the smaller dudes. And okay, maybe he's been training and sparring with 16, 14-ounce gloves prior to the fight, right? But there's a difference between a 14 and a 16 as opposed to an 8-ounce. 8-ounce gloves, you're not going to train with those because obviously you run the risk of getting cut or messed up. That you've never really felt the power of a true 140-pounder that hits hard with both hands in an actual fight. And remember, Regis Prograis trains with them Gardner gloves, the small-ass mitts, the old-school style.
Right.
And he be hitting the tires. He hits the tires, so when that dude got a little 8-ounce glove, he knows how to, probably pull it up and get it down to where the knuckle is meeting the padding, like Pacquiao used to do. And when he really digs in there, he knows how to punch with those. So it's going to be feeling a lot different. And yeah, he hits hard with both hands, in my opinion.
I agree. I just don't think his right hand is as good as the left. I mean, every time he hurts people, or he usually does it with that left. So, he certainly doesn't have a tight right hook. But, yeah.
He can use the right to set up the left, right? He can use the right to, throw a haymaker over the top and then mix up the attack with the little short left to the liver. And so forth, the other way around. You can shoot to the body first and open a shot up to the head, right? The opposite way, or mix and match the way you throw your hands to open up a shot with the left hand. When you jab, you want to keep the jab in the other dude's face in order so you can measure and drop that left. You can do that too. It's about how you use the right.
His left uppercut ain't bad, as we're showing here. And then a couple of right hooks against the southpaw, though. That's when he really shines with his lead hand. But, what I'm thinking here is he needs to really... even if the right hook isn't as tight as the rest of his offense, he still needs to throw it because Haney is adamant. The Haney camp are adamant that they know he's only got really just a left hand, so he has to work that body. And here you see him throwing some good straight lefts. Why not, man? I hate to say it, or it might sound overly simplistic, but maybe he just needs to do this. Just barge forward and hook, hit whatever he can. I know it sounds rudimentary, primitive, but hey, sometimes that's the way to go. I mean, who brought that up? Somebody brought that up here. I think it was Jimmy or somebody. Maidana versus Mayweather. Maidana actually did better than fucking Canelo
Yeah,
did.
Maidana.
And Canelo's a better fighter than Maidana. And yet Maidana gave Mayweather a harder fight. Why? Because he had the power. He just said, screw it. I'm just going to hit whatever I can.
Relentless pressure will put you under duress, and it'll keep you busy. It'll keep your opponent where he has to deal with that.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, man. And again, this body work that Prograis is gonna when he dropped Relic with a good left hand, it was a hook. Because usually you want when you throw the hook to the body, you want to do a shovel hook, meaning it's got an upward angle. He threw an actual fucking hook, which was just in a horizontal range or arc, and he dropped the guy. So evidently he's heavy-handed. Whatever he touches, he's gonna hurt you. But he just has to let those hands go. But the most important thing is he has to get close.
So he didn't necessarily get under the rib cage, and because he didn't necessarily pinpoint the organ, and he was still able to hurt him. Same thing with other dudes who I think he even dropped. Didn't he drop Ivan Redcash, the Ukrainian dude with the shot to the kidneys on the opposite side with the right hand, I believe.
Yeah, and they called it a low blow or something. That's why or I think actually later on they actually overturned it to a no contest. I forget exactly what happened there now that you mention it, but he was beating him up. Yeah, he was getting the best of him. He was gonna stop Redcash, but here against Josh Taylor, you can see him dig into that body, throwing some good shots. But again, he didn't have to go looking for Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor said, "Let's party, let's rock and roll, let's rumble, let's party here in the middle of the ring." And as you can see, they held that center of the ring for large gaps of that bout. But can he do this, guys, against Haney is what I'm asking. Or is he going to be unable to get past that jab?
I mean, a lot of people been placing a lot of faith and stock on Haney, but I mean, how good is he really? He was way bigger than Lomachenko, and prior to that, a Dominican dude by the name of Santiago had given him a tough fight. A lot of people even probably thought he lost. I remember back in the day. And who else has he beaten really? Oh well, he beat freaking George Cambosos. In a lot of ways, I get what you mean. That Regis is a little bit similar to Cambosos, but I mean, Regis is a harder puncher.
Well, here we have some clips of Haney just to refresh people's memory. This is his defense against Lomachenko. And as you can see, these are some of the best highlights that I found of him being able to keep Lomachenko off of him. Mostly 11th round, 12th round, once Lomachenko got tired. Here against Cambosos, Cambosos, another dude that's unable to cut the ring off, doesn't have a guard. And Haney just had a field day with him. Now, against Jojo Diaz, you will see the difference between Jojo Diaz and Prograis, and that is that Jojo Diaz actually has a guard. So he was able to take away that jab because of the guard. And even then, Haney was still, he did some good work there, keeping him turning with the left foot, see that? Doubling up on the left foot.
That's a good example right there, BD, with Jojo Diaz. You see, Jojo actually took some to give some. Right, and this isn't the Jojo Diaz that used to fight when he was at the lower weight, because he is an amateur. I think he was an Olympian or whatnot. A guy that doesn't necessarily even hit hard, but then he changed his style and adopted more like a Canelo approach, where he was barreling forward and trying to walk dudes down, but that power wasn't the same as, for example, the comparison to Canelo at a lower weight, obviously. But he was having some success against Haney by doing that, barreling forward, taking a few to give his.
Right. Yeah. For some reason, I don't have the Diaz clips of him having success against Haney, so we'll have to make do with Lomachenko's best bits here against Haney. And again, Lomachenko is a smaller fighter, as you can see here, than Prograis, but just look at the feet too. They're well spaced apart. He's on balance, equilibrium, shoulders at a parallel to the ground. So he can see how he can jump back and forth and not be off balance. I mean, that's just hours of practice refining the technique, and unfortunately, Prograis doesn't have that. But again, flip side to that coin is Prograis does hit harder.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. I have to say, in regards to Haney, I got the sneaking suspicion that he's got a better chin than people give him credit for. Because even when he was dehydrated, he was able, say what you will, but he still didn't get like dropped by Linares. He got buzzed and was able to retain his balance and survive. And that's when he was dehydrated. Imagine now when he's fully recovered, like hydrated.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's it might play into his advantage, but even then though, this is you were casting aspersions on his record, and that's one thing that you got to give Prograis credit for. This is the biggest puncher that Haney's going to be in there with. I mean, I know Linares is a good puncher with the straight right in particular, but Prograis, you can just tell he's heavy-handed. And Jimmy was talking about how come Haney looks so much bigger than Prograis. That's because you're going to see on Fight Night, you're going to see the legs. Like he said, Prograis got some thick calves. In fact, there was one episode of the build-up to the WSSB, and he was jogging up and down, those parks where they got the fucking long-ass stairs. They got hundreds of steps that you got to go up to. He was doing that. He was doing it. He does it old school. He does it with work boots on, which if you do it improperly or too quickly, if you don't build up to that, you're going to really hurt yourself. But he was doing that, which means he's in fantastic condition. And you could see his calves. They weren't quite Asian calves, the Manny Pacquiao calves, but they were substantial. And I have to assume that's where he gets his power from. Whereas Haney drags his feet, really doesn't really have that same type of great equilibrium. So we'll see, man.
Is Jimmy back?
I think so, man, but I don't know if he's having issues with the audio.
Yeah, can you...
Go ahead, Jimmy. Go
ahead. Can you hear me, Mr. BDA?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay. Can you hear me better this time? Yeah, I'm having... did Discord change? Because I have a different background. Is that something new, or am I on... I don't know.
Yeah, the icons changed for me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, me too. Hey, thank you, Discord.
All right, somebody go, please. Talk about this fight.
Yeah. Okay, no, so... all right, yes, somebody mentioned Mayweather earlier with... what it was like... The reason why Marcos Madonna did better, because he didn't try to do something he wasn't. He didn't go in there and I'm not going to try to obviously box with him. I'm going to use what I have. And that was obviously hitting him with those shots he didn't see coming and roughing him up. And like if you go back and watch the Canelo fight, Canelo was in there trying to box with him and stuff, which was just not the right thing to do. But yeah, so again, I look at Prograis, and a lot of these guys he beats, a lot of them were there for him. He doesn't have to go find them. It's just he has more trouble when he has to find somebody, because he doesn't really, he's just one of those guys who does his best work while he stands still. Like he can, move on, but he's not throwing those great shots on the fly up in the tops of his toes. He'll get into a position, plant his feet, and pop, do his work. Haney, is not the type of fighter to let you usually get into that position where you're comfortable with your feet flat. He's going to constantly keep moving. Probably try to make it a boring fight, I would imagine. All the more reason to want to see Haney lose. But again, I hope I'm wrong. But unless he catches him early, and rocking him and keeping him goofy for the night, I just see Haney outboxing him with that stick.
Well, I found some clips here of that I had of Jojo going to the body against Haney, and as you can see, he was getting some shots underneath those elbows, like right there. But he's not a big puncher. Nevertheless, he did keep Haney on the back foot, and he was able to close the distance right there. Now, obviously, these clips we were watching them. I remember in the context of the upcoming Lomachenko fight. So some of the things that are some of the particular body shots is because we were saying that Lomachenko could imitate them. Prograis does throw some, like Gonzalo was saying, some wide hooks. So even though they don't look pretty and even though they do look quite wide, they might just be able to get behind the elbow, under the elbow, and then on top of that, he's heavy-handed. And this type of body shots, I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay, Haney's going to be stronger. I think he's going to feel those body shots. So Prograis needs to understand that, man. Stop headhunting. I don't know why he was headhunting against Zorrilla. Gypsy in the chat said, I heard he said he only had a 6-week training camp or something like that. I'm thinking, okay, but that's on him. If he comes in here with a 12-week training camp and he still looks like shit, unable to cut the distance, what's going to be the excuse then? I don't want to hear excuses. I want to see this guy fight at his best. Again, he's 35 years old, like Andrade was against Benavides. There's no tomorrow, like Van Halen. There's no moment like today, man. There's no tomorrow. Get it fucking done right now, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. When he fought Zorrilla, I think it was also in his hometown, kind of like how his other foe, like Taylor, performed in Scotland. They didn't do well in their hometowns. I remember when Cain Velasquez went to Mexico City and he lost. It was
And he didn't speak a lick of Spanish either, right?
And that's not just boxing.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy.
And it's weird. It's not just boxing. It's not just boxing too. Even in ice hockey, a lot of NHL coaches will tell you they prefer to be on the road because it gets you more. Because you're in the hotels, you're not away from the family, away from all the. They come home, especially after a long road trip. They just never seem to play as good because players come back to all the bullshit. And they also, if you're hometown, you want to put on a show. Sometimes you'll headhunt. And I think that's what he did last time out when he didn't look too good. It was a hometown fight, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I think he was trying to do too much. Sometimes, it's the old adages that just people think just do what got you there. Don't try to do anything extra. Don't put, just follow your punches. He needs to feint with, he needs to double up his jab to get in on Haney because Haney's going to jump back. He's got the faster feet. And he keeps the ass out style kind of sticking out, ready to get out of the trouble. So what you do is, the first couple just jab, but then double up your jab, come in on the double jab and following it up with a big hook to the head or anywhere upstairs, but hit him hard and get him thinking like saying, oh, Jesus, this dude hits hard. Ideally, you want him to think whoever he fought last, which was Lomachenko, right? His last outing,
right.
Haney.
Yeah.
So, that's Prograis to be like, I want him to think I hit so much harder than him. Like you want him going back to the corner saying, "Yeah, I know this kid hits hard. You get that in his head because Haney can get into his head. We saw it with Lomachenko. He was all befuddled. He's asking his father, like, "Well, I don't know what to do." He's got, I can't. His father's telling him to do something. I can't do that. He's doing this, and so get him nervous again. And if you can't do it with
and I would say also, Jimmy,
power, get him questioning. Yes.
Get him nervous. Even though he hits harder with the left, he still got some pop with the right. And BDA was mentioning the hooks. If you throw them white hooks and you got him paying attention to that white right hand, he can drop them short, little deceptive. They're inconspicuous, like left hooks to the body, like the one that dropped the Kyle Relic. You couldn't even see it on the TV. It was short. It was fast. It was quick to the target. Boom. You couldn't even see it. So I think he punches. He's got good reaction with that. It's just automatic. He's got that down to a T, how to drop that left to the body. So if he could do it without thinking that, nobody's going to notice. All of a sudden, Haney got cracked because he was paying attention to a right hand. He got hit with the left to the liver, short little punch. When he was going wide with the other hand, he can hurt. That's why I'm picking Prograis to knock out Haney with a body shot. Not saying that it's going to happen, but hey, I'm just having fun with my predictions.
Yeah, man. I mean, when he has that upper body movement, like you say, I mean, he does it. It's automatic, it's on autopilot. It's effortlessly and indefatigably. But one thing that I am interested in is Where was it when he fought Zorrilla? He wasn't there. That's my thing. And again, listen, hey, I remember when we were in the build-up to the Usyk Joshua fight, and people kept saying, "Oh, you know what? I think the connection is bad on my end here with you guys. Hold on, let me jump off and I'll jump back in." Yeah, my connection with you guys on the Discord here is kind of fucked up here, and I think now on the something's going on here.
Me?
Was that? Yeah, I can hear. Well,
Hear me?
Hold on a second. Connections. Okay, now can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about this. My connection with you guys is awful here on the Discord. Yeah, it's fucking up right there. Let's give it a minute. Let's give it a minute. In the meantime, let's play a little Christmas jingles here. Little Christmas jingle. There you go. No, yeah, it's because I'm waiting for the connection to reestablish. I don't know what's going on.
Is it me to be it, or sometimes does it when you have the stream going? Seems like we don't have sometimes as good a connection.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I shut it down then. But
like you're showing something.
I mean, I took away the clips because I think that might have been what was screwing it up. But listen, somebody was gonna say something. I think. Who was it?
Are you kidding? Recognize.
What's going on in the background? Everyone, I don't know. There seems to be a lot of distractions here tonight.
I thought it was you in the background. That wasn't me.
Let me ask you this though. You've got. I'm looking at the predictions here, and by the way, we're still taking predictions in case anybody wants to call in. Recognize you got Prograis rounds 10 to 10 between rounds 9 and 10. He's gonna get a stoppage. How confident are you in that pick?
I'm not that confident, but I can see it happening. You know, so I'm going with my vision over my common sense. I guess more common sense pick. Like I know Haney is a lot better than Zorrilla, whatever his name is, the Dominican kid he fought. But that dude was awkward, man. He had like an awkward rhythm about him, you know. And I think that guy cracks a little bit hard because he did hurt. What's his name?
Prograis.
Prograis. And yeah, he had hurt him early in the fight, and so Prograis respected him a bit. You know, he was cautious of getting caught with something. But you see that Prograis dropped him. I think what was it, the third or the fourth round after Prograis himself got dropped.
Yeah, I think it was the fourth round. Yeah,
fourth round. Yeah, and it's that fucking the way he throws that, the way he delivers that sneaky left, man. He has a way of like catching you with a big shot, and I just see him catching Haney late in the fight, where Haney's going to be weaker, and obviously, he's not going to be punching as hard, and so Prograis is going to feel more confident letting that hand go. He'll be tired too, but he'll still be. I think he's going to be behind on the scorecard, or he's going to feel like he is behind. This fight is too close, or whatever, and he'll still have enough energy and determination to hit him with a big shot, mainly the left hand. And so I think that eventually he will catch Haney and hurt him.
I could see that happening. I could, because from what I gather, listening to the Haney talk, is that they really thought this is a cherry pick. Because what a coincidence! As soon as Prograis looks bad for the first time in his career, all of a sudden these guys allegedly call Eddie Hearn up and go, "Hey, can we get this guy?" And it's perfect because last year Prograis was the guy that he was a dark horse of boxing and of the division. People thought he was unbeatable and that Teofimo Lopez might be the undisputed champion in that division, but that Prograis was actually the uncrowned one. Now, all of a sudden, after this loss against Zorrilla, it turns out this guy doesn't have lacks the ability to cut the ring off. So, I don't know, but it could backfire on them. Could backfire on the Haneys. Because like I was saying, I remember before the Usyk-Joshua fight. Was that?
No, go ahead. You were saying you remember before the Usyk and Joshua fight.
Yeah, people kept saying, "Oh, Joshua's gonna walk through Usyk because look at what Chisora did to Usyk." And we were saying, "Well, hold on a second. It's different styles there. It's one guy's shorter and just as heavy as Joshua, but shorter and comes forward. When has Joshua ever done what Chisora did?" And lo and behold, yeah, it was styles did make fights, for lack of a better term. Is it possible we're gonna encounter the same thing here?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a lot of factors. Look, man, Haney doesn't have a really good chin. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why he fights off the back foot the way he does. There's a reason why he holds. Those are usually signs of a guy that they can't stand in the pocket, deliver their punches, flip yours, and also when they're afraid that they get hit with something they don't see, and the reaction is going to be bad. Those are nervous signs. A guy fighting off the back foot. So the thing about fighting nervous is that when you get into those later rounds and you're not really a good puncher, you kind of, especially in this case, I think you kind of like make the power puncher feel like he has an advantage. Also, you know how we're talking about like Prograis is coming off a bad performance. You could say the same thing about Haney. Haney didn't look good in his last fight. A lot of people thought he lost. So this could be a situation where two guys are trying to prove themselves, and you know, sometimes the one with the experience, you know, the age. I know he started at 17 boxing, but he's still a lot older than Haney, and that means that he started boxing way before him, and so he's got more experience than he does.
Yeah, that's a good point though about Lomachenko.
And that could come back. That could play in his favor. That could play in his favor too.
Yeah, and the whole thing about Lomachenko, Haney coming off a bad performance against Lomachenko. Yeah, he won the fight, but a lot of people feel that he lost it, and you can tell it's been getting to him because he's one of those dudes, young guys that he can't stay off Twitter and social medias, and he'll read the comments and they'll get under his skin. And you know, he can come back here against Prograis and rewrite history a little bit and sort of erase what happened against Lomachenko in a way by beating a tough guy like.
Remember, Prograis is confident in who he is. Devin Haney is a poser. He's a faker. You know, he's a Muslim one day. He's a rock star another day. He's a tough guy. He's a rich guy. He's a lot of things. So you know, he's confused. And that means that's how he thinks. When you're in a fight, you want to make your man think. You want to make him not sure of who he is. And I think Regis Prograis still has enough power where he can bring that scenario out of Haney, and Haney just in this situation will be a lot worse because he's dealing with a big puncher. And you know, his last two performances with southpaws hasn't looked good. The Jojo Diaz fight, bro, I thought he got hit way too much, man. He lost a lot of rounds in that fight. You know, I think he might have edged it 7-5. You know, that's not a impressive win. You're talking about a guy who's coming up in weight to fight you, and he was backing him up, catching him with big left hooks. Yeah, he would have been a little bit stronger. He might have been in a lot of trouble.
But I reiterate though, this Regis Prograis fella, he does not have a high guard like Lomachenko or Jojo Diaz.
I agree. So he don't. Oh, but those guys didn't have the left hand that Prograis has.
But that's the thing. So we're banking
deceptive. He wants you.
So we're banking on him landing the left hand and taking Haney out.
He will. He will land that left hook in that fight. He is going to. He's going to land it more than once too.
And then what happens if Haney gets up?
I don't know if Haney could take it.
Well, that's the thing. What if he can't take it?
Oh, then he should win. He should win the fight. If he can take it for 12 rounds, he'll win the fight.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the big X factor right there, man. I mean, it's like, okay, he's got a big left hand. What's he gonna do with it? Can he win a decision with it, or is it just all about, hey, I'm gonna land one and this guy?
He won't win a decision, even if he deserves it. He would have to basically pretty much blow him out. But more than likely, it's going to be a competitive fight. And I think his way of winning is by hurting Haney. He has to hurt him. And if he can't do that, then
yeah. Let me just jump out of the Discord here. I gotta reset it because I think there's a connection issue there. So shit. All right, I hit it. Quit it before I even finished telling these guys what was going on. I also want to talk about Gonzalo, I got you, man. But I'm just resetting the Discord here. For some reason, the connection on Discord is really awful, and we were having, I think, issues with the stream early on. But we'll get to this. Come on, what's going on here? There we go. Sorry, excuse me. I had to move my head a little bit to see the minimization here occurring. Don't forget to hit that like, fellas. Hit that like. Really helps us out. And that's what we're going to do.
You guys aren't breaking up there, so it's my end.
I think it's me, man. But hopefully the connection's been it's working out now. Well, listen, enough about that Prograis thing. If people want to call in and give us their predictions before we leave, we're going to leave in about 20 minutes. But you guys probably heard the big news, right? Regarding PBC and Amazon?
PBC.
Yeah, it showed up in my my ESPN alert.
Right, well,
yeah,
it wasn't anything.
They reached a deal.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that Rick Glacier hadn't said before, which is that they're going to have a deal. It's going to be a distribution deal, meaning Amazon's going to serve as a platform to air their events. But as far as people are looking at it, there's no indication that they're going to be providing a budget. Now, Rick Glacier says that there will not be a budget. The PBC is going to have to come up with the money themselves. He also said that the first date for an actual event is 4 months from now. And he says that is because they got to scrunch up money financing to get that fight on the platform. Another thing that they released with their little press release was that they said that there's going to be about 12 to 14 events per year. And they said Amazon will be the new home for the pay-per-views, championship bouts, and video packages in past fights. Now, you got to really look at it, what they mean by that. When they say pay-per-views and championship bouts, are they talking about pay-per-views and championship bouts, which are going to be non-pay-per-view, or did they just say, oh yeah, our pay-per-views, which are going to be championship bouts? I don't know if people understand the distinction.
Here's the problem with that.
What's that?
Think about the PBC. Think about the PBC platform, right, of Amazon. So basically, Amazon Prime, you have to be, in order to watch these fights, you have to be a paid subscriber, right? You have to subscribe to them, and you got to pay for that. How many people are going to be willing to do that just for the PBC? That's the question. In other words, how many subscribers is the PBC going to bring in? This might be one of the worst plans. I mean, maybe they got. I'm not understanding the deal, but just taking that risk, especially boxing, I just see that as, like, you see the NFL has it, baseball has it, but they have a huge budget. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is an independent, it's run by promoters and scammers, or you know what I mean, or scammers too. Yeah, it's not like an entity, a governing body, one governing body that has a huge budget every year, and they're gonna invest all of that into Amazon Prime, the way the NFL does, the way Major League Baseball does. Boxing is, it's the PBC. Al Haymon. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the big thing, though, is Amazon is a big platform, but like you said, who's really gonna? Yeah, I can hear you, man.
I can hear you.
That's a big thing, though. Like you said, they're going to be. It's a big platform, but how many people are actually going to be signing up to get the box? Now, the good thing with Amazon Prime or Video, whatever you want to call it, is you get movies and TV shows and all that. But again, 12 to 14 dates. Let's do the math here. 12 to 14 pay-per-views. Let's say it's going to be 14. You get Canelo, you get Tank Davis, you get Spence and Crawford. That's going to be those 3 fights are going to be pay-per-view probably. And let's say Canelo fights Munguia, that's going to be pay-per-view as well. And if Benavidez fights in between, that's going to be pay-per-view as well. So let's say that's 4 pay-per-view dates right off the bat. Then so that leaves you with 10 more dates. So that's one date per month. That's worse than what Showtime Championship Boxing was doing.
So basically with Canelo, you check that. You got to check that off. Whoever Canelo's fighting, that's pay-per-view.
Right.
Tank, the same thing. So you got to check that off. That's pay-per-view right off the bat. Those are the 2 names that they got that are known pay-per-view fighters. One I disagree with, but the other one is a definite shoo-in. So you got him for 2 more fights. Then you got Tank. Then I guess they're gonna, if you have Amazon Prime, you don't have to pay an extra addition for fights. That could be a good deal. That could be a pretty good deal if that's the case, right? But if you're telling me that I gotta have Amazon Prime and then I also have to buy all these pay-per-view events,
yes,
that's a little weird, man. I don't think first of all, these fanboys on YouTube, I don't care what they say, they ain't buying all of that shit. I don't believe that. They're not buying all
80%. 80% of them are going to be pay-per-views. Probably if they have 12, I read I think 12 fights a year. 8 of the 12 is going to be a pay-per-view. I think that's the bare minimum. What he'll do is stack them.
8 of the 12 events.
8 out of the 12 will be pay-per-views a year. He doesn't have any money to advertise. He has no money. Those in the fights that aren't on pay-per-view, it's going to be the same style as the ones that we just saw on Showtime. Martin against, I already forgot, that didn't even peak at 200,000. So, yeah, it's going to be terrible. They're going to be things that won't cost next to no money. And the reason, there was already dates. I don't remember if you guys knew this, but they were talking about there was already dates put aside. Tom Brown from Tom Brown, they had fights for January and February. He had 3 dates put aside already, like they were talking about for PBC. So that's already been scrapped, right? So now they have to wait till March. So that's 4 months. The reason that is, I think this is okay. I signed the delivery date. I have a platform to get it to the fans. Now I have to scrounge up some working capital in order to finance the other things that pay-per-views aren't going to go on. He has 150 fighters left under contract too. Do the math. At best, most of the guys are only going to fight once a year if they're lucky.
I think this is a scam. And this is what I mean by that, right? Like the way they presented this to Amazon Prime, right? It's like Amazon Prime is looking at it as, oh, you guys have Canelo, right? Or Canelo is going to be fighting some of your guys, but that's short term. Basically, that's just for, as far as we know it, for next year, and that's it, 2024, because he already fought one a couple of months ago, so he's got 2 more fights with the PBC. And then I think that's maybe why Amazon Prime might have been interested in this whole adventure with them, because they just hear Canelo's name. How much of that is a part of it, Jimmy?
Well, I see. It's a weird thing. I don't think half the guys at Prime, Amazon, which is full of woke people. I mean, look at just the content they put out. They've been getting crucified for their wokeness. I honestly think that it doesn't mean anything to them because they're not investing any money. They're just using their already established platform to carry the fights.
I'm sorry, you did say that.
So for the next 4 months, they just have to, because they're not giving. There's no budget. No, there's no
Oh,
budget.
I got
Amazon
you.
is not
No,
paying
I make
PBC anything.
okay.
Yeah.
You know something? Now that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So if it just doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not like there's no money lost for Amazon.
Nope. And there's another thing too. They only signed 2 years. 2 years, and anybody in the sport industry or anybody taking on to something new will tell you that's not that. You know, it's not a lot of time to get anything established. So that he's got short leash. Okay, we'll give you 2 years. Let's see what you can do. Unless he does something historically different, nothing's going to change. That's Heyman's thing. Heyman puts on shitty fights. Always has, always will, as far as I'm concerned. And that's the reason why he put Fox in Showtime, got out of boxing under Heyman's tutelage. You know, he just couldn't, he refused. He spread himself thin instead of putting, concentrate all his, on Showtime or on Fox. He gave them both shitty fights. And I don't care what anybody says. It's not an opinion. It is what it is. His metrics are horrible, and they got progressively worse as time went on. At the end, Showtime was barely lucky to scrape together 100,000 viewers. But with 35 million subscribers, he couldn't pull more than 100,000 viewers, or peaked at 160, and that was one of his better fights. So we'll see.
What happened? Everyone went quiet all of a sudden. What's going on here?
Yeah, BDA, can I mention something real quick?
Sure.
Can I mention something real quick in regards to Drovesi Ramirez? So they got a card too, I believe. Top Rank. He's fighting Rafael El Divino Espinosa, because some people are asking, I think.
Oh, right.
And my opinion, okay, I found out this guy. Okay, what's he got? 21 fights with 18 KOs. He's with a promotional company from Guadalajara called Zapari Promotions, and they're the same people that handle. Jesus, this dude just fought El Azabache Torres, Diego Azabache Torres. That guy had an undefeated record with a lot of knockouts too. And I think they're also the people that handled El Pollo Aguilar. Now that promotional company is from Guadalajara. That's becoming like a hotbed, a cradle of boxing, so to speak, because of Canelo. They're producing a lot of talent, but on the local level. And my problem with that is when they got these undefeated records, and this company called Zapari brings them to the United States. And I remember, because that dude that was promoting Diego Azabache Torres, he looked pissed, or he looked like, man, we thought that this guy was gonna be the guy that beat Murataya, and we're gonna rake in the money with him. What I'm saying, I don't know if it's greed, but point blank is that they're bringing these local fighters with these glossy records, and they're making them jump from this basic level. Yes, they got skills. Then there's no progression, and then you proven fighters. So even them fighters, they're good. They cannot figure it out in the ring because they didn't take the gradual steps in order to see, okay, we were facing this dude over here, but now that we're facing this guy over here that's showing us something different on that night in the ring, they don't know how to deal with that. So that's my problem with guys like Rafael Espinosa. We don't know.
Yeah, you could be right. It's like a feeder league. It's
and they can throw okay, for example. Yeah, even if they're skillful, are you going to tell me that they're going to figure it out on the night against a dude like Drovesi Ramirez or Murataya, a dude that's more talented?
Yeah, no.
You're going to figure out gradually, but they're not doing that. They're local level, knock everybody out, but then we're facing 2-3 levels higher. And what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a feeder league. It's a feeder league. They're using it to feed these guys to the higher level prospects. It's a shame, but that's the way they do it, man. And so I think this guy who's fighting Robesi, I've seen him fight. He's tough and everything. He's got decent technique, but he looks like a beanpole, and he might just get chopped down, just like the other Japanese dude got chopped down by Ramirez a couple of months ago. Listen, fellas, the connection here is killing me today. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna end it. We've been on for 2 hours. But shout out to everybody who joined us on the panel. Shout out to everybody that called in. Everybody that donated with the super chat. Tomorrow, Butcher should be doing a open lines Friday show as usual, the day before the big fight, and of course after the weigh-in. So stay tuned for that one tomorrow, probably 6 p.m. Eastern time in the evening. We'll let you know ahead of time. Turn on your notifications. And that's about it, fellas. For everybody, shout out to everybody who donated the super chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Benzo, Timothy Figueroa. Shout out to I Am Your Leader in the house as well. The Quags in there as well. Big shout out to those guys. Shout out to everybody else as well. Matt Chad in the chat. We got Quentin Lassiter, Jokers Wild, Locutus, Sebastian, Jack Cousteau, Drizzy Dro, Alejandro Solis, iRugs, Cloudy Boxing, Technique, Let Me Ace. If I forgot anybody, fellas, because